Tina, I don't know
Yep.
what it's doing. I will figure it out next
Hello,
week. Can you
hello,
hear me?
hello, hello. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, 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 hello. If you can hear me, put up a one. If you can hear me, put up a one. Put up a one. If you can hear me, just put up a one. One time. One time. Chat, can you hear me? I see you hear me clearly. Clearly. So good to see you guys in the chatments tonight. We're so glad that you're here tonight. We had a couple of technical difficulties, so we're behind just a few minutes, but y'all know we normally take a couple of minutes. So grateful for your grace. So glad that you all are in rocking out with us tonight. Y'all are here. I see Coach. I see Lady Yo. I see Epi Poo. I see Nikki. I see Lala. Welcome to the chatments. So glad that you all decided to hang out with us tonight. And we're about to get it started. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Intentionally Random broadcast, where the topics are intentionally random and randomly intentional. Come with us as we endeavor to peruse the advantages of staying focused, attempt to discover an honest approach to what seems to be a struggle for most people, and curate a list of things that we can do to maintain the functionality. We'll be diving headfirst into the importance of focus, the utility of meaningful relationships that aid in keeping focus, and the importance of relationships that cause us to be held accountable in our blind spots. So join us.
Anthony's too real. Hey, y'all.
And yours truly at Tina Mofa Show as we make our mark in history as two women who not only challenge you to live in authenticity, but also to challenge ourselves to be known to others in our closest circles. So lend us your ears, your hearts, and your thoughts as we enter the intentionally random broadcast. Let's step into the real.
I mean, we are going to be in international one day.
Come on now. You know what to say. Come on, speak it into existence. What y'all call it? Manifesting?
Oh, she talking about what y'all call it, manifesting. Yes. Woo. Hey, Tina.
Hey, hey, too real. How you doing?
I'm breathing, I'm blinking, I'm blessed. I feel so good. I went to my first bonfire. It's super exciting.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad you were able to have you a nice little bonfire. I caught it earlier, your live that was about a minute and something long you were showing. How was the food?
When I tell you, Tina, that food was so good. That food was so good. I've never been to a bonfire, so I don't know what kind of food they normally have at bonfires. But my cousin and his wife had it catered. They had mac and cheese, lamb chops. They had ribs. They had chicken kebabs. They had steak kebabs. They had the regular oysters with cheese. Oh my lord, they had so much food. They had brownies, they had banana pudding, they had cake. Oh y'all, it was so much food. Like they had really good music. It was just nice. Like they just bought some land. So they stay on like 4 acres. Like I don't really know anybody with land. So it's just like 4 acres. And my cousin is a he have like a pow place where he teach you like to get your license and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen. Like he's supposed to be building like a power range out there, and they're building like this big massive house. Like I'm super excited. But it was so like nice. They just moved there this week, so he wanted to celebrate his birthday, and he was like he wanted like the people there, people that really love him like there to celebrate with them. They just bought their land, him and his wife and their family and stuff. It was just super. It was like a very good experience. I really enjoyed myself, and I'm here to hang out with my people.
Yes. Yes. I know that you enjoyed that. Absolutely. Um, and you still didn't answer the question. I said, how was the food? You told me what you ate, but you didn't tell me if it was good or not. Just because they put it on the grill don't mean that it's real. How was the food?
Ooh, y'all. Tina trying to be funny. Tina told y'all she heard my live, y'all. When I tell y'all, I had to like close my eyes and started reminiscing about how cheesy. You know how you be looking at somebody blogs and they go to like dip the mac and cheese. Like when I was fixing me and my boo plate, because he was talking to my cousin, I was over there like fixing me and him a plate. Yes, I fixed my man a plate, ladies. Yes. But I was fixing him a plate, y'all. And when I went to dip the mac and cheese, it looked like something out the movie, Tina. It was so cheesy. I never seen no cheesy mac and cheese like that. Like the strings was like hanging from the like the noodles, trying to like grab onto the spoon, but they still wanted to go on my plate too. Like y'all, that food was so good. Long story short, it was so good. My boo ate his plate and the rest of my plate.
Mm, that's all right.
How was your day,
Had that
Tina?
cheese pool.
She talking about I had the cheese for.
Hey, I just want to know. Was it
I
real
thought
or
about
not? I
you.
just want to know. Folks be, sometimes gas folks' head will be like, oh, it was wonderful. It was twinkling and glistening, and it was just absolutely wonderful looking. And I'm like, but would it taste like though? She don't want
It
to
was
tell on the people.
good.
I'm
So
going to
no,
let
let
you
me.
have
Yo, we gotta move forward because y'all Tina trying to get me beat up.
it.
People don't play about their mac and cheese and their potato salad. No comment.
No, no, they don't. They've been passed down the recipes from generation to generation. And it's like they should have got left in the last generation sometime. Uh Shanice, thank you for showing up. Welcome to the Chapmans. I see you in the I see you in the Chapmans. Faith. So glad that you're here. As always, I appreciate you being with us tonight. Welcome to the Chapmans. Whew. Now after we done did all that talking about macaroni and cheese and bonfires, guess what we gotta talk about?
Stand focused.
Focus. Which it sounds like we far from it, but it actually
We are, but we aren't.
coincides with what we're talking about tonight.
Mhm.
How important it is to stay focused. One thing that I always think about as it pertains to staying focused is the fact that sometimes I don't always recognize when I've gotten off track. Like sometimes, you know how sometimes you can just be so involved in something that time has passed and um it's gotten dark. Um, you could really, really be focused on something that'll take you away from everything else. Or just the opposite, you were focused at some point. Um, and then all of a sudden, it's almost like squirrel, and then you never keep doing the thing that you was doing, and you run after the squirrel. Whatever that thing is that grabbed your attention, and that's something that I think about as it pertains to um, staying focused and losing. that focus. Melinda, I see you in the live. Thank you for showing up tonight, and welcome to the Chapmans. Um, y'all have to forgive me because I'm over here typing, at least attempting to type. Yes, distractions, Shanice. Um, but it's the thing of when I want to stay focused, when I want to have that, when I want to be able to zero in on something and just be able to have that one thing before me, not have anything else on my mind, but just being able to kind of zero in on the thing I want to do, the thing I want to say. Every now and then I find myself just mind drifting off. That's like praying. If you've ever been praying and in the middle of praying, you think about, did I turn off the oven? I hope that the ribs ain't burning. Oh Lord, help me. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of the prayer, you done drifted off. Or don't be sleepy like sometimes. And you done woke up and you get up early to pray, like we do sometimes with yeah, I'm telling on myself. Y'all might not tell the truth
Me,
in the chapters, but I'm going to tell the
me,
truth. That 3:15 sometimes does me in, and so I could be up early in the morning and be praying. And then next thing I know, I'm looking at the inside of my eyelids and I done drifted off to somewhere else. And I just did not stay focused. I needed to get on up, drink me some water, get up, turn the lights on, because sometimes that laying down feel good. Them covers be feeling good. That pillow feel right nice, especially the wee hours of the morning, because that's when that good sleep start happening. Start kicking in. And so sometimes I just understand how, when it comes to being focused and staying true to the thing that you set out to do, that every now and then something comes along to derail your focus. Something comes along to take your attention away from the thing that you really have set your heart out to do. And so, I mean, what do you think about as it pertains to being focused?
Tina, I'm so sorry. Forgive me, Lord. I was up here trying not to laugh.
Oh, I thought you.
Literally, I be having like good intentions, and the other day, like I literally stay up all night because it's like once I be up, like if I'm up and it's like once I'm up and it's past like 3:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I just won't go to bed because y'all, my kids wake up so early. But I was up trying to like stay up for prayer, and I had made it, and then I don't know what happened when I woke back up. It was time to take my babies to school, but I had good intentions. But what I was gonna say is what I probably should have did was what I noticed is, Tina, I'm gonna be honest, now I'm telling on myself. It worked better for me when I go to 4:30 prayer if I get up out of the bed and like go to my A2R studios because it's not a Garudio no more, y'all. Um, but if I get up out the bed to pray, then it helped me like stay woke. I notice if I stay in the bed when I'm praying, like
Mhm.
with JD 365, like in the morning, or even when I get up, because even if I miss JD 365 prayer, like when I wake up in the morning, I automatically pray. Like that's the first thing I do. And I started talking, so I will automatically pray, right? But then I just started talking to the Lord. Like I remember on one of the last prayers I taught, like JD was just like, ask the Lord, like, what we doing today? So I done started talking to him like before my day even started. And I'd be like, well, Lord, this is what I got to do today. Like, help me work it out, like to stay focused and to stay on track because I get sidetracked so easily. Boy, I could be talking to you right now and let me be looking out the window and I see a plane. I'll be like, oh, Tina, the plane's so pretty. And Tina will be like, Toria, what plane? Y'all, right now, that's what I do. Tina keep me on my toes, y'all. Her and my boo, like that's why I gotta go. My boo do not let me go to the store by myself, Tina. He'll be like, babe, hey, that ain't why we came in here. Get over here. I'll be like, okay.
Yes, and I understand that. I promise you, I do. Especially if like fool around to go to the grocery store hungry.
Hmm.
You didn't went down every aisle. All of a sudden, the fruit, wonderful looking. You did not come over there for no fruit. You came to get some toilet paper, some crackers, and you over
Right.
there by the fruit. The crackers don't even be by the fruit, but you over there at looking at the mangoes and things. Talking about, ooh, they got some on sale. That's not what you went in there for, you
Correct.
know. And you could literally have somebody, waiting for you on the toilet, but because you got distracted,
Literally. That'll be
literally,
me. That would
yeah.
literally be me, y'all. I do it all the time. It's so. But you know what though, Tina? I noticed I take it back, y'all. I used to do it all the time. The more and more um I like focus on what I need to focus on, like cutting out distractions. I haven't really been having those issues. Like I haven't been having memory issues. Well, that probably could be to the alcohol and the no trees. But y'all, when I tell y'all, I love my sober brain. It's so smart. Like I remember stuff. I be writing all these raps. I was like, when I finally do become a rapper, I'm gonna have like 10 catalogs already. Okay, I got so many bars.
Hmm. Yes, I do understand. Whew. And so, but it just reminds me of how, um, ever so often I have to dial it back and I have to
Hmm.
think about, okay, what did I come here for?
Hmm.
What did I set out to do originally? Even if I noticed that I done floated off into like sometimes talking to people, they get to talking and that wonk 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 start happening, the Charlie Brown teacher, where you hear the sounds but you ain't making out what they saying. That happens to me sometimes, where I'll just float off. Now the person don't know I done left the whole conversation. And then I have to
I,
dial it back and figure out with context clues from what they saying right now, what they just said. Now, finally learned how to do is, you know what? I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know what you just said. Could you start it over? The last thing I heard might have been 20 minutes ago, but I need you to say one more time what what you talking about, what you said, because you might have been talking about shoelaces a minute ago, and you started talking about cars, and I
oh,
missed the transition from the shoelace to the car. I didn't see it. I ain't hear it. I don't know nothing. And
that's
so
me.
sometimes, you have to be willing to be honest and
Hmm.
say that, I got to be able to, even if I don't keep my focus, be
Hmm.
willing to say, I've been distracted.
Right.
Something grabbed my attention. Something happened to where I wasn't able to keep up with what's going on. And because it's like that, instead of trying to fake it to make it like, oh, I'm always, dialed in, 10 toes
Hmm.
down in the conversation, lies and hot garbage. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. There are times where, and I don't want nobody to think that if I'm watching something and
Hmm.
I'm really, really dialed in,
Hmm.
sometimes the very thing I'm watching, because y'all know it's a bunch of YouTube creators in the space right now, and even in the chat now, that when
Hmm.
they show up, I mean, when I show up to watch their live, they can say something that's triggering a memory, a thought. And before I know it, I got to rewind because I done missed the last 10 minutes thinking about what I was thinking
Mm.
about instead of being dialed in on what's being taught, what's being shown, what's being, you know what I'm saying, what's happening. Because if somebody break out and ask me what happened during such and such as Vlogtober, this, that, and the other, and I'm like, well, I know they was in Target. Uh, I don't know what they bought. Something about some chips or something. I don't know. Because in the middle of it, I could think, what, the last time I went to Target, I had bought a teddy bear. Your mind just go off
Hmm.
somewhere. And
No,
so
seriously.
yes, yes. And so sometimes, you have to just go on and be like, you know what, I'm gonna be kind, rewind and play that again. Thank God I didn't doze off or I didn't miss a whole hour worth of whatever this thing is. So I ain't got to go from the very beginning. It's only been a few minutes, thank God. You know what I'm saying? But it's sometimes we have to do that in life too, you know.
Ooh, why we can do it with conversations and stuff, but not with life? That seems like that's hard for me. For some, well, it was hard for me, but not sober Anthony's. Oh, I'm about to change my YT name to sober Anthony's. Hey, Sugar Kisses.
Okay.
I have a question about that, what you just said, Tina. I don't want to
Okay.
throw us off, but when you said when that happened, that you can remember, has that ever happened with us? Oh, y'all, moment of truth. That ever happened with
What?
us,
Well,
Tina?
I got distracted by something talking to you.
You can't really get distracted talking to me because you got to keep up to know because you know I'm going to switch 10 subjects in 2 minutes.
Baby, let me tell you something. I know I better be good and rested if I'm gonna talk to you because I got a lot that I got to keep up with and keep my mind out of the equation so I can listen. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you
That's
discuss a
key.
lot in a short period of time. And so I'm like, I'm processing in real time what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying. Also
Mm-hmm.
trying to understand what you're saying in what you're not saying,
Mm-hmm.
be able to formulate the questions to get back to you the understanding what you're trying to convey to me, and then be able to further the conversation by adding commentary to the thing that you would have asked about or talked about. That can happen, and I could be so inundated on, okay, she said such and such last, remember what you was going to ask her about this. You better keep up with
Okay.
what she's saying right now, because if you miss it, it's going to seem like you ain't paying attention. I am paying attention. I got to keep up with the details. All of this is going on in my head while I'm listening to you say, mm-hmm, 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 I
Tina.
understand, mm-hmm. So, but it's not just you. That happens. It really does happen, where I have to be firing on all cylinders. Now, on the other hand,
Okay.
if I'm tired, if I'm sleepy, if I ain't ate, if I'm angry, if I'm confused, or if something going on in my personal life, body, whatever, mind, or emotions, I can't listen because I'm caught
Right.
up in what I'm caught up in. I can't give good feedback because I'm unavailable, wrapped up in what's going on with me. And so with that, when that is the case, I mean, not saying that I've had that, I haven't had that yet while talking to you, but I
Mm-hmm.
have had moments where I was caught up in what was going on, and I will stop to acknowledge whenever you say, how you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Because when you ask me how I'm doing, I'm like, when you get that good sigh, I'm taking a
Mm-hmm.
breath. And then I go into
Right.
what's wrong. I go into what's bothering me. I might break down and start crying, which I think I did that with you before. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm talking about the things that are literally fresh on my mind in that moment. And once I
Mm-hmm.
get through with it, then we can move forward with what else we was gonna do. Or whatever else we were gonna talk about. You see what I'm saying?
I absolutely see what you're saying. You are very good at what you do, Tina. Y'all, Tina always give me like the best advice, and she always listen. Like she do listen for what I'm not saying. And even if I tell her ain't nothing wrong with me, what be so crazy? I'll be like, man, this lady so down in the guy. I had asked her like, do you be telling Tina my business? Because even when I don't tell her something wrong with me, she'll take me telling her ain't nothing wrong with me. Then next thing you know, y'all, I check my message and Tina be done sent me a prayer and what she praying about. I'm like, how does she know to even pray about that? Like I didn't tell her nothing was wrong. And I'd be like, wow, like Tina really do pay attention. Thank you, Tina, for paying attention. Like, cause a lot of people they'll act like they pay attention, but they really don't. So thank you.
Lady,
Thank you for being
I'm
you.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
What?
Sometimes I'm led to do that. You see what I'm saying?
Really?
I can be now. I'm just
Whoa.
gonna tell you the truth about Tina Moe. Now,
Okay, okay, tell me. Tell me.
Tina Moe can be self-absorbed.
Really? I
Tina
never
Moe.
got that from you.
Then let me tell you something. I can be so inundated with what's going on with me because I live in my head a lot of times. I
Oh,
think
me
a
too.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always thinking about something to the point where it keeps me up at night sometimes. Can't sleep because I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking about something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about what about tomorrow? What about yesterday? What happened last week? This person. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I need to be here for this person. What appointments
Mm-hmm.
do I got going on? I got a lot happening in my life. And
Mm-hmm.
so when that happens, it turns into a thing of, okay, I got to turn something off so I can focus. On the other hand, when I'm being led to pay attention to something, it pops out at me. I'm like, it
Mm.
disturbs my flow of thinking, if that makes any sense.
No,
And
it
so,
does.
and so with that being the case, there are literally times where um I'm like do in my own world, doing whatever I'm doing, thinking whatever I'm
Mhm.
thinking, and then all of a sudden, Antonice, I need to pay attention to this. I need to say this. I need to address this. Let me reach out to her right quick since she's on my mind. Sometimes I can reach out to you and I don't know what I'm reaching out to you about, but it comes up. You see what I'm saying? And so, I mean, yeah, I ain't trying to make it spooky or nothing. Let me
Tina, you was
acknowledge the.
not spooking me. This is good, girl. This is
I'm just
so
telling the
good.
truth. I mean, we're still talking about focus.
Right.
Um, I want to make sure that I acknowledge the chat because I know I've been talking a good little minute. Um, Danielle said something. It's a purpose in redirecting yourself back to your original point. I am the type of person that will have a whole conversation in my head while you were talking. Absolutely. Yes. Um, Now, and that's the thing. I still can pay attention, but it's almost like a split of what I'm thinking versus what you're saying. Until I just allow the thing that I'm thinking about to just take over, and then I ain't listening to you no more. But again, the whole thing about listening, active listening, is sometimes I have to get to a place where I'm able to quiet myself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but let me acknowledge the people that came in. My YouTube pastor, Justin Danielle, has entered the building. I am always grateful when you show up. Um, your presence is most certainly appreciated and felt. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Crystal, welcome to the chat, miss. Thank you for showing up. I always appreciate when you show up as well. Um, who else did I see? I seen somebody because I spoke to him. I
Sugar
just don't know
Kisses.
who it was.
Hey, Sugar Kisses.
Yes, Jay. Oh,
Man, Jay about to make me scream because that's what I'll be doing. I'll be like, I wonder what my boo gonna ask me what I want for dinner.
I know, right? Let me go down here because I see something that Jay said. Hold on. What did Jay say? Corey. I don't think I said under Corey. If I seen that, I don't know it. Corey, thank you for showing up to the chat, miss. I don't know where you at. Okay, I see you right there. Lord, I've been talking so long. The people that snuck in, I ain't seen nothing. I'm sorry, Corey. Appreciate you for stepping into the chat, miss. Lord, y'all know I'm long winded. Don't act like you don't know who I am. Tell your friend if they don't know me. Just touch your neighbor and tell them Tina's long winded. That's all you got to do. Other than that, I saw something that Kiss from Jay said just a second ago. I didn't broke out talking about some touch your neighbor. Lord, if I ain't touched. Oh, Jesus. Y'all had to pray for me. I mean, not that there's something wrong with church, but I just noticed it. Let me see. What did she say? Okay, I'm just gonna read it from where I'm looking at. Kiss from Jay said, and if you talk too long, I'm gonna start thinking about what else I'm gonna do that day or about some other thing. LOL. If you catch my swag. Absolutely. Oh, hilarious. Yes, indeed. I will think about something else in a heartbeat. Mine will go 100 miles another direction sometimes. Um, but yes, I most certainly. And yes, I do want to recognize Lala. I don't know if you had left and came back. But I did see that you had come in first, and want to make sure that I acknowledge you as well. Um, Lala said, "Oh, that she didn't say nothing. That's just the emojis. Yeah, but But what do you think about as it relates to when something has distracted you? How do you make your way back to a conversation, or how do you operate in that space when you know something has something has distracted you.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. So things that you talk about, I've struggled with these things for about 38 years, guys. Hello. My brain never cuts off. So what I do now is me and my silver brain. Uh I write a lot of stuff down. I don't know if y'all seen on my live the other day when I went to Dollar General, they had a sale. It was 10/3 through 10/9. They had buy one get one free notepads. Y'all love notepads. Tina, I have them like all over my house. I always keep something with me. So like if I'm talking to somebody, I don't really do that anymore, y'all, because I treat people how I want to be treated. So when I'm having a conversation with you, I'm gonna be dialed in with you because if you ain't dialed in with me, that made me feel some type of way. Like I've literally been on the phone with people, and this be the thing. Like when you know people, you know when they not paying attention. I can tell
Hmm.
you be paying attention. So, but me, I just write stuff down. That way, I'll remember like what I want to say, like when they talking. Because most likely, I'm gonna have questions. I always been that why child, where I gotta know why or like how things work. So I probably already done wrote down like three things to ask you by the time you get done talking. You know.
Hmm. I like what Danielle said.
What you say?
She said that I'm constantly listening for what's not being said. I have to intentionally focus on what the person is actually saying. When I tell you I got that bad,
Mm.
because I ain't gonna tell on the person, but they in the chat. They know who they are. I have been talking to that person. I mean, the person will be talking to me, and I'm like, I heard this, and I heard that, but it's something that you ain't saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I'm hearing what you saying, but I'm also hearing what you not saying. You know, I ain't trying to bust nobody else. I ain't gonna say nobody names, but they know who they are. Um, but yeah, it's one of those things where sometimes, you really can find yourself in a space where it's like, if I asked you a question, and I'm just using this for an example, if I asked you a question
Mm.
and you tell me, if I asked you a question about tennis shoes, and all of a sudden you start talking about hats, and you start talking about cars, and you start talking about water bottles, I'm like, okay, I hear about the water bottle. I heard about that car. I heard. Um, but what about them shoes I was talking about though? You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm.
the part you ain't saying. What's up with that?
She said, "What's up
And
with that?"
hey, I'm just telling the truth. And so, and sometimes it happens, where I'm like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I hear what you're not saying. Or if somebody's telling you a story and they leaving stuff out, it's like, wait a minute. Hold on, something ain't adding up. The math ain't mathing in your story. You didn't skip the part. Now I don't know if you just want to tell me it ain't my business, because I can handle that whole it ain't my business, and shut up talking to me, asking me questions. Just say that. But what you're not gonna do is have me feeling like I don't know what in the world is happening, in this conversation.
Tina,
Hmm.
don't you know what? I already put this here. So I'm trying. That kind of made me feel some type of way. Cause I'll be like, so you gonna act like you just went from B to D and there ain't no C in this story. Okay.
But thank you.
And then when I ask, then people mad at me because I'm asking because I'm like, nah, I know it's C supposed to be in here. Okay, cool.
Yes. I'm like, don't do me. Do not do me like that. Like I stepped off the slow bus with a helmet on. No, I'm paying attention. No, that is not what happened. I want to acknowledge Tiff's take has just ended it. Thanks, Tiff, for coming up, showing up. I appreciate you as always. Appreciate your support and welcome to the Chapmans. We just over here talking about focus. While it sounds like we seem unfocused, we're really talking about what all it takes to become focused, or what it takes to get back to being focused.
Mm.
One of the things that I wanted to touch on is the fact
Mm.
that sometimes we can have people in our lives that could either be a distraction, or they can be the very person that can help to keep you focused.
Mm.
Um, I mean, like as the young people say, get you off your square. Where they have it, they come into your life and they derail you of everything They help because I need to reframe that because there must be accountability. Some people come into your life, and what ends up happening is they come in and your attention averts from the thing you should have been paying attention to
Mm-hmm.
over to this new thing, this sparkly thing, this bright personality, this whatever it is. And we'll find ourselves losing focus on our vision, losing focus on priority, losing focus on our walk, losing
Mm-hmm.
focus in our faith, losing focus as it pertains to our spouses. Because Mr. Fine and showed up smiling and acting wonderful, and you know you just got into it with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Man is over there with the frowny face, but here go the new Mr. Man with the smiley face. And so you done lost focus. And that's not to say that you ready to cheat or you ready to leave your husband, but sometimes the fact that somebody else showed up and being kind to you, being nice to you, being endearing towards you, being thoughtful towards you. You walk around. My man ain't opened the door for me for 20 years. And here this man, he don't know me from a can of sauerkraut. And he done opened the door and waited on me to come in the door. You know what I'm saying? It's be stuff like that that'll have you derailed from the thing that you're supposed to be focused on. Um, Earlier when I was talking about praying and a thought come across my mind, or early in the morning I didn't fell asleep or something, all because my focus was averted from the very thing that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be engaged in. I'm supposed to have my focus on. I can't. How? Mm, mm. Whew, this is getting. This is getting to me. How in the world can I expect to be a watchman on the wall if I'm sleeping? How can I expect to be effective as a warrior, effective as a leader, effective as a person that can be leaned upon if I'm somewhere not paying attention? I'm somewhere asleep. I'm somewhere not focused on the task at hand. So other people that were counting on me can no longer count on me. So the people that were depending on me can no longer depend on me because I've lost my focus. And so if it's one thing that I take into consideration is the fact that sometimes we have to be able to come to a place in our lives where we're like, what's distracting me from doing what I'm supposed to do? What's keeping me from doing the thing that I was created for, made for, purpose in? What was the thing that I'm responsible for that now is lacking because I lost my focus? How many times have we had in depth conversations with people and you can tell they're not paying attention to you? You pouring out your soul to them, you giving them the gut wrenching details of something, and they over there thinking about pot roast and hamburgers. They over there thinking about when they gonna get their car washed. But when it comes to us, and we'll get upset when it happens now, and you can feel it. Or if you sit in a person's presence, you can see them just wander off. They are no longer engaged in the conversation. It went from mm-hmm to huh, what'd you say? Or all you getting is a bunch of mm-hms because they want you to feel like they're paying attention, but their mind is actually far away.
I have a question
If
about
we
that.
don't like to be done like that, I'm sorry, go ahead. What you say?
No, go ahead. Finish your no. Finish your thought, Queen.
If we don't want people to do us like that in the moment of our crisis, in the moment of our need, then why would we do that to somebody else? Or even more so, Why do we do that when it comes to God? Because
Mm,
sometimes He needs us to focus on Him, but we get distracted and inundated with people, inundated with our own problems, inundated with the thing that we want for our lives. You know, what's keeping you from focusing when you need to work? Is it because you done found you know, somebody to talk to? It ain't even got to be a thing where you trying to create some kind of relationship with somebody, or salacious relationship. It could be a friend. It could
mhm.
be a person that you know what this person is cool, but is that person helping you to stay focused? They can have your best interests at heart, but are they? Do they have the capacity to make sure that you're able to stay focused? Go ahead. What was you about to say, Anthony?
I was about to ask you, Tina, that when that happened, like what you were just saying about like, okay, say if you're talking to somebody and you know they not, I ain't gonna say like in my face. So the example that I'm about to ask you about is if you're on the phone with somebody, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you're on the phone with somebody and you can't really see them, but you can tell that they're not paying attention, my
Mm-hmm.
question is going to be, well, actually, I have two questions because I can never just have one. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my first question is, has that ever happened to you? Well, I'm assuming yeah, because you said it. So, like, what would so my I guess my question would be, my two questions is one, would you like say something to the person? Because that's happened to me a few times where I'm gonna be honest with you. I Okay, so one time I asked the person, I like, it's like if you know people, then you know people. So it's like I use my husband for example, because I know when I use my husband for example, he won't like divorce me because I'm using him as an example. Because some people be petty, but anyways, like I know I can ask like my husband, he'll pay attention to me. I know my husband, so I guess I can't use him because he do be paying attention to me. But if somebody not paying attention to you, would you tell them like you ain't even listening to me? Like, cause like how
Mm-hmm.
people, like would you say something to somebody and then if they lie, well, I don't like that. I try not to say lie. My grandma did not like the word lie. She used to be like, "Stay said then." But like, if they're not being truthful, like, would you press the issue or just don't tell them nothing? Like, that's I really want to know that though.
Um, Sometimes on the outset, it's the
Mm-hmm.
thing of, can I talk to you? Are you available?
Oh, okay,
Is this a bad time? I need to get some, and you tell them what you want.
okay.
I need to get something off my chest. If there's something that's bothering me, or I need to discuss something with you that's kind of serious in nature, do you
Mm-hmm.
have the mental capacity to talk right now? Because if not, could you just hit me up when you get free? It's those
Okay.
things. You know what I'm saying? Where on the outset, the person number one doesn't have a defense. When you say we need to talk, and then all of a sudden, what I done did, did I kick the cat? Did I run over the dog? All this stuff goes into their mind, waiting on you to tell
Mm-hmm.
them something. When in fact, you could just say, "I just need to talk. I need your attention.
Okay.
I need you to focus on me." That's one of my favorite songs by I think her name is Her.
Mm-hmm. Won't you
Focus.
focus on
Hmm.
me? Baby, you focus.
Yeah. Because it's one of those things where sometimes you need the attention of a person, and if they can't be emotionally available, if they
Mm-hmm.
cannot be mentally available, if they got something going on in their own life or in their own space, what you needed was presence in that moment. What you
Mm.
needed was a person to be there for you, and not just the
Mm.
body of the person, but their
Okay.
mind, you know, their intellect, you know, um, their insight. And sometimes it's just their ear. You want to know that you're being heard.
Mm. I heard
And
the
so
part.
it's so easy to get to a place where it's like, I'm mad at this person because they're not listening. I'm like, but are they available?
That's my follow up question. My follow up question was going to be hypothetically speaking, because I guess. But if you ask somebody that and they say yes, they're available, and then they still do that to you, like would you be upset, or would you just maybe not share anything with them again? Maybe.
Not necessarily. I mean, it
Okay.
depends on the situation. Because truth
Okay.
be told, there are some people that they're just so self-absorbed, and they
Okay.
don't
All
have the
right.
space, and they don't have the capacity to do that with you. To be open like that because they got the road runner mind too.
Okay.
And everything that you say is a trigger for them to be a thought as it pertains to their own lives.
Okay.
Um, Danielle said, good intentioned people can inadvertently lead you astray, especially if they don't uh, have the capacity for your vision by allowing their fear to diminish your impact, distract, delay, deter.
Hold on, let me screenshot that. Thank you, JD365. You girls always have some of the best chat mates. Okay, got that. That was deep. That's like what you said in a different way. I love how like it kind of be like confirmation after confirmation because it's like y'all would say the same thing just in a different way, but it ultimately means the same thing in a way, if that makes sense. But it's still in your own unique way.
hmm Yeah, Danielle said, she said, asking if they have capacity is so important. Absolutely. Are you capable? Are you available? Do you got something that's on your mind? You know what I'm saying? Those questions are so important. So we don't get wrapped up in, I'm finna end the relationship right now. We ain't talking no more. We ain't friends no more, no nothing because you wasn't there for me when I needed you. It was like, but my baby, I had to change their diapers, and you wanted to talk to me about something that was going to take me away from what I needed to do. The baby was crying. They had a fever. I had to tend to that. And you want to be over here a bucket of tears when I got a bucket of tears that's walking around with no diaper on. I got to deal with
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's those things that we don't always take into consideration. That person got a life too, and they have the
Mm-hmm.
ability to let you know, hey, I'm available. But should you see that this person, because it shouldn't be that this is just all of a sudden you don't know that
Okay.
this person ain't paying attention or doesn't pay attention. It should
Okay.
be somewhere down the line that, hey, when I'm talking to this person, they are not here. I'm just glad we free. I understand them. And sometimes you do. I mean, the Bible does say, know them that labor among you. Hey, Nisa Boo, thank you for showing up. And welcome to the Chapmans. I see you in it over there. Um, and so it's a thing where, when it comes to people not being able to be there for you, it's what friends you got is broke. You know not to tell them we finna go to Nobu or we finna go to Roos Chris or something like that with your broke friend. Your friend ain't got it. It ain't been nothing new because if you're really friends, if you really have some kind of relationship with them, you have some kind of insight on what's going on with them. It's not
Mm-hmm.
new. It's just a lot of times we can take the thing that is sometimes we could take what we think we should be able to put on a person and then make them
Mm.
responsible for it when it was like, but they showed you they ain't able. They
That's
showed
deep.
you already that they don't have the capacity. You know what I'm saying? They showed they have already give you some kind of glimpse that, hey, I ain't got it mentally. I don't have it emotionally. I don't have it financially. Why do you want me to
Ooh.
pay the bill? I ain't
Can I?
got it. I told you I ain't got it when I got in the car. I told you I got Taco Bell fare. I'm just
Tina!
telling the truth.
Tina! Oh my Lord, I'm about to scream. See, okay, so I want to stay focused, but like I believe this is like along the same lines, even though it's like something different, it's still along the same lines because when you were saying, okay, your friends should be paying attention, your friends should know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then that means okay, so I'll just tell you. I don't, I'll tell y'all my business. I don't care. And my real friends know I'll tell y'all my business and don't care if they get mad at me for telling y'all my business, which include them, so I can tell y'all. So I don't need their permission. No, y'all, but for real, like, I remember, like, this was probably like in '06. So that was like the year before I met my wonderful husband that the Lord blessed me with. I love my king and I submit to him. Yes, I do. But in '06, y'all, when I tell y'all what, okay, so my friend that used to say he was broke, disgusted, and couldn't be trusted, like before he became a pastor. But anyways, y'all, when I tell you I was in my broke days, and I remember one time, y'all, I was about to start talking to one of my friends. That's when I used to go to the club like heavy. I used to go to the club like Monday through Sunday, help the DJ set up and help him pack down. No, literally, because I had to get in free and stay to the end. But anyways, y'all, so this one time, now my friend them knew I ain't had no money, y'all, and me, I'm the type of person I don't go nowhere. Like I don't like going nowhere without money because shoot, I don't like going nowhere because I don't like being embarrassed. Like that's my number one thing I don't like. Probably because I used to get embarrassed and like picked on when I was little. So my friend knew I ain't had no money. I told my friend I ain't had no money. And my friend was like, girl, like everybody used to want me to go out, y'all, because I was like the lit friend, if you guys can't tell. So if I'm like this sober, imagine me intoxicated. Too
Turn.
much to handle. So my friend, I told my friend, I was like, friend, I don't got no money. Like, and she was like, no, I'm gonna pay for you, blah, blah, blah. Still go. Y'all, now this on a Friday night at one of my favorite clubs. Y'all, it used like the line used to be like down the street. Why when we get to the door, like we done got chat, like they done checked our purse, they done patted us down. Cause we get pat down in Florida, y'all girls too. Y'all, why the man was like looking at me for my money and I looked at my friend and my friend looking back at me. He
Mm-hmm.
said, I know you effing lying. Y'all, all these people behind us, like, I was like, this is so embarrassing. I was like, what is you doing? So, like, that kind of made me think, okay, was that on purpose? I'm not saying I think it's on purpose, but at the time I did. But it's like, okay, that would make me think if I told my friend I ain't had no money, my friend was like, I'm gonna pay for you. Then we get in the club and you looking at me and don't pay for me. Like, see, it'd be stuff like that that would probably make me think, okay, was this person paying attention in the first place? And maybe if they thought I was, playing. But then that go back to, can you be honest with your friend? Like, you should be able to be honest with your friend, right? Because, like, I'll tell my friends, if I don't got it, I don't got it. And if you ain't going to
Um,
pay for it, then I won't be attending. Well, that was
um,
before I had a rule.
I mean,
But I'm just saying, can you tell them that? Do you think you should be able to tell your friend anything, right?
that's the test of the friendship. What I can tell you, because you finna find out something
Mm.
from me. I'm gonna be a friend enough to you to be honest with you. And if you
Okay.
can't handle that honesty, we might not need to be friends. Or I'm gonna have to curtail what I tell you. I'm gonna have to use
Oh.
some kind of discernment, some kind of knowledge, wisdom, understanding as it pertains to how I'm going to deal with this individual. Because at the end of the day, you got to make assessments about who are around you and who you're dealing with. Because
Mm.
some people might have it in their mind that it'll be funny and a nice practical joke to play on you if they was to say, I'm
Mm.
gonna pay for you at the club, and then they act like they forgot when you get to the window. Or they
Right.
gonna pay for you when you go to the restaurant, but then they gonna act like, I'm finna go to the bathroom, sneak out after they didn't pay for their own food, but left you hanging. You see what I'm saying? Like you
Mhm.
have to know the people that you're surrounded by. Because when you don't, um, I mean, truth be told,
Mhm.
you could get set up like that. And
Yeah.
when I say set up, I ain't talking about somebody, trying to,
No, I
uh
know what
plug
you
you in with the feds, or you know what I'm saying, or get you
mean. Right, right.
robbed or something like that. But it's one of those things of this person can play on your emotions. This person can play with you as it pertains to your feelings. This person can play with you as it pertains to who you are as an individual. Do you want that? Absolutely not. So you have to stay diligent to pay attention to who's paying attention to you. Focus in your friendships. I'm sorry, I got a little passionate about that.
Listen, y'all, I was like, is that I'm like, woo! That was like that little, that little voice you hear in your ear when you about to do something bad, and he be like, don't do that, girl. She was like, focus in your friendships. I'm like, that's so true. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's kind of like when I used saying like go to God about certain stuff, because I know if I went to him, he gonna do what I asked him to do, or like he gonna really like do whatever. Sometimes I think we may not focus because if we focus, we'll be like, what what are we doing? Like that's why I'm like, I need somebody. See, that's gonna have I'm gonna have to write that down for next time to talk about how can you tell if it's like if you have a friendship, because I'm gonna tell you this, I'm not trying to get off, but this is making me focus. Like the more that I focus, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and then it's gonna make sense. When I was younger, I used to have like a whole bunch of friends, right? Like everybody wanted to be friends with me, and I really don't think nothing is wrong with that because the way I look at it as like basically, y'all, I went to this lady party. She had like this, it was like her 60th birthday party or something. It was like one a mutual friend, right? And it made me think about
Mm-hmm.
this, like focusing on my friendships. Like before the lady like came in, like it was like five different people that spoke about the lady, right? Like the lady who party was. All five people called the lady their best friend, right? And all five people didn't they didn't know the lady. Like they
Mm-hmm.
were just there. Like it would be like five people speaking about Tina, but every person that talked about Tina say Tina is their best friend. Now to some people that may sound weird, right? Because knowing, okay, I know these other people don't know each other. When
Mm-hmm.
that happened that day at the party, it was like it was a thing to me because I'm like, dang, how awesome of a person do this person got to be to where each person feel like that's the best friend that they have. And I'm like, wow. So I said all of that to say I be looking at my friendships now because when I was younger, my mom used to be like, you'll see. My mom used to always tell me I used to like go over like above and beyond for people, and people would never do it for me. But I never did it to get it back. I did it because I always treat people how I want to be treated. So I say all of that to say the more and more I focus on my friendships, like you say, I'm starting to see now, is I really friends with these people? Is they just friends with me? Because I have a lot, most of my friendships I've had for a really, really long time. Which I know all my friends love me, but I really don't think all my friends pay attention to me like I pay attention to them. I say all
Mm-hmm.
this to say that, y'all. So with that, I'm gonna tell y'all if y'all feel like that, you don't have to like type it in the chat means, but if you do feel like that, focus sooner. Like just focus sooner. Cause now, like, Lord, what I'm gonna do? Like, how you end friendship? I mean, I don't know. What would you do, Tina?
Um,
Oh man. Wait a minute, go back to that. Hold up. Cause I feel tried. I'm sorry.
which
I said
one?
the two cars. Oh, Nikki Silver Stacker. I gave my sister two cars when she was struggling, and now she has money to travel to Italy, Egypt, Bahamas, and have fancy dinners, and I never get an invite. Oh, you know what, Nikki? Okay, let me tell you this. And I ain't trying to tell you my business, but I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know what you believe, but I'm gonna tell you what I believe, and then you can like tell you what I tell you and maybe work for that. And then I'm sure Tina is gonna give you some really good advice that you can actually use in your life. Okay. Um, my feelings would be extremely hurt. Now, Nikki, I don't know you, but do you even want to go to those places? I'm not being mean and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying sometimes we get mad at stuff. Like, do you want to go to those places? If you do, tell your sister she hurt your feelings. Like instead of or did well, you know what? I don't know. Did you tell your sister? Like, it does that hurt your feelings or do it make you mad or do you want your money back for your car? See, these are all of the things that go on in my head when I read stuff like this, y'all. Watch people in the small interactions. Most people are consistent. If you treat me away in one space lightly, you would treat me that way. Family is work. Child, you don't got to tell me about family. You know what I figured out though? The family, my family is my husband and my kids. Like, not saying my other family, not my family, but that's the family that I focus on because that's my family. Like on 6/22, when I married my husband that year, 13 years ago, like,
Oh Lord.
yeah, like that's the family.
I'm sorry. It just I'm trying to see how I'm gonna address something. I'm gonna read this comment and I'm gonna address some things that have been said in the chat.
Okay, okay.
Danielle said, watch people in the small interactions. Most people are consistent. If you treat me away in one space, likely you will treat me that way across the board. I wholeheartedly agree.
Mm.
Um, she know it hurt my feelings. Okay. We
Mm.
got to address the elephant in the room. What did you do it for? Were you
Mm.
loaning her the cars, expecting for her to pay you back? Were you giving to her, expecting for her to reach out to you in some kind of way that would fit the monetary things that you gave to her? Because sometimes we can have unrealistic expectations for people that have already shown us that they can
Mm.
be selfish. Or it may be a thing of you don't have the kind of relationship with them that you want to have with them. They don't
Mhm.
have the kind of relationship with you that you feel like they should have with you. With that in mind, you may want to reconsider how you see things. Because
Mhm.
just because you did something for a person does not mean, does not, just because a person is related to you, does not mean that they want to be in fellowship with you.
Mhm.
If you felt like you needed to support her and it hurts your feelings when you're not invited, you may want to reconsider how you actually see the relationship. Because sometimes we can do things for people thinking the least that they can do
Mhm.
is do such and such. They could call, they could show up for my birthday, they could send a text message, they could hit the like button, they could subscribe, they could do a whole lot of things, but they don't, and they don't owe you. If it's one thing that I had to come to the realization of is I needed to check what was going on the inside of me, because sometimes I had false expectations as it related to um other people and what I expected from them. That included friends, that included family members, that included people that I felt like they needed my help, because sometimes we can do things knowing that yes, the person do need some help. But the truth of the matter is we are attached to the thing that we're giving. Our feelings are attached to the thing that we're giving to the person. Our emotions are attached to the thing that we're giving to the person. And when it's not reciprocated by adoration, love, appreciation, things of that nature, or you watch the person get on their feet and then they don't do nothing for you, and you've been supporting them the past 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, 2 years, 6 months. Sometimes it's a thing of we have to question, why was we doing it in the first place? And did we add something to the equation that was going to later on make us feel a way after we did what we did for them? Um, that's not to say that you're a have to be a bad person, you know what I'm saying, or you have to be looked at as some kind of way, because we all go through it. Sometimes we have to take a moment and say, you know what, that person don't owe me anything. I know I went out of my way. I bent over backwards, or it could have been a thing of it wasn't even no big deal to me. I got it like that. On the other hand, they could have at least been appreciative, but they don't owe you that. And sometimes that can be hard to accept, is that they don't owe me anything. That the thing that I did for them, if it didn't come from the goodness of my heart and I have expectations attached to it, that means every time I gave somebody something, I had strings attached. And we know what it feels like when a person attaches something to something they've given to us. We've dated men, and some guys have dated women, or whatever the situation is, where they tell you we're gonna go on a date. They're gonna buy you something to eat. But then if they were to say, okay, I'd have bought you a steak now, it's time for you to get this, you know what? It's like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for the meat. I signed up for the steak. You didn't tell me I had to get the steak and do something to you for the steak. That's those strings. And sometimes we can attach emotions in those same ways. So sometimes we have to take a moment to step back and say, I need to reevaluate, what place am I giving from? Um, I like what Danielle just said. Let me go down to what? Hold on.
Okay.
Um, hold on, because I'm missing all of the Chapmans. I'm gonna go back to the other one in a
Mm.
minute. Others do not always understand the weight of what the action cost us, the value we have placed on it. Then we require recompense for the things, but the cost does not match. Um, I have had to learn very, very valuable and costly lessons. And I'm saying this because it ain't a thing where I'm telling somebody else, you need to such and such. No, no, no. I had to learn this because um I had to take inventory on what was happening on the inside of me whenever I would extend whatever I wanted to extend to a person. Am I doing it because it's just laid on my heart to do? And if they don't talk to me for the next 10 years, I'm fine. Or is this a thing of, I'm doing this for you based on the what I feel like is the relationship that we have. And so because I'm going out of my way or I'm doing this thing for you, if I have any expectation from you, then I've set myself up for a downfall. I've set myself up to have my feelings hurt. I've set myself up to possibly become bitter with the individual, all because I attached something to the thing that I gave that shouldn't have been there. And it doesn't matter if it was no more than a thank you. You would think that common courtesy is common courtesy, but common courtesy is not necessarily the thing that people do sometimes. But if you're doing things just so people can say thank you, just so people can show their appreciation. I love appreciation. I ain't finna sit here and act like I don't like it if somebody be like, oh, that was good. I appreciated that. Wonderful. And it's nothing wrong with that. However, if on the outset of me doing it, I'm like, I'm gonna kill them with this. And if they don't respond with the killing action or whatever that is, unalive or whatever, I'm sick of this. I ain't monetized no way. But it's one of those things of, when it comes to, if I've attached something to it on the outset, I have just set myself up for disappointment. And so what happens is, a relationship could be ruined all because of how we feel about what we gave or what we did. And so, I mean, and that even goes with compliments, because it ain't always about, I gave somebody some material. I gave them a car, a house, a dog, or whatever. Sometimes it's just the thing of, oh, you look so nice today. And if you wait on them to be like, honey, you be sharp too, child. I be looking at you. And if they don't say it, do you want to take your compliment back? Do you now feel like that person hating on you because they didn't say nothing about your new shoes, or your designer jeans or whatever it is that you had? Or your makeup, they didn't say nothing about your makeup being on point after you didn't given that compliment to them? Do we tell people we love them, expecting for them to say, I love you back? There are so many things that we have to take a moment. And I ain't trying to jump on you, Nikki. I'm like, I'm only explaining this because this is one of those things where I know that I've had to struggle with this thing and come to the place of, it's okay
Mhm.
if you don't appreciate it. If you don't
Mhm.
tell me you appreciate it, I know
Mhm.
you can use the thing that I'm giving you, and I
Mhm.
just want you to have it. because it was on my heart to give it to you. Whether that is a compliment, whether that is a thing of monetary value, whether it is my time, my listening ear, whatever it is, I just want to stay focused on the fact that I'm not going to get caught up in what somebody else didn't do for me. Yes, it's going to take some time, and I understand that completely. It takes time to come to that place because I ain't finna say and sit here and act like, huh, it's like water rolling off a duck's back, honey. They don't do nothing for you. I'm like, huh, cool with me. Lies and hot garbage. Sometimes I can struggle with that when it comes to my own mama, and she might be listening right now. But if I've done something and she didn't respond in the way I wanted her to, my feelings can literally be hurt. If I had attached to it, I did it because I wanted her to be proud, but she didn't act like it. But she didn't know that was what I was looking for. And she may not even been proud of the thing I did while I'm over there, ready to toot my horn. And so I most certainly just want to offer you the thing of it'll get better with time. It will get better with time. As long as you continue to just work on it and be like, hey, I'm going to let it go today. I might have held on to it a little long yesterday, but today, I'm a choose to let it go. I'm going to choose to get better from here. And it's going to be okay. Anthony's?
I'm here, Queen. I was writing him on my prayer list. I'm gonna pray for him because that it can be a lot. I'm not in that season right now in my life, but I can honestly say I've been there. To where it's like you just. I used to feel like okay, like exactly what you said. Just I felt like when I did things like, but now I know like the Lord helped me see like no, that's not why you're doing it. So that's why I was like, right. I was trying to find my list. I have an actual prayer book, so I'm gonna write his name in my prayer book, like when I get off the stream. But I was just writing it down so I don't forget. But yes, what you said is the truth, Tina. Thank you for also breaking that down because even though Nikki and first of all, I'm sorry, Nikki, I do want to say shout out to you because I'm be honest with you, Nikki. It's a lot of people who probably feel like that, but they're afraid to speak up, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you for being transparent because it takes a lot to speak up. But I can tell you, I'm reading this book. It's called Mind Shift. It doesn't take a genius to think like one, and that's like the first lesson. Like, who's gonna speak up? Like, who's gonna be that one? If nobody don't want to go first, who's gonna go first? But thank you for being honest and transparent, Nikki. I hope you don't mind. I am gonna say a prayer for you. I'm gonna put you on my prayer list and pray for you because that can be a lot to like deal with internally. Like when I was going through that, it's like you don't have nobody you can talk to about it. But what I was gonna tell you, Nikki, I don't know if you believe in like something like higher than you, but I be talking to God and He always make it all better. And I'm sorry your sister like hurt your feelings because my brother not hurt my feelings. I'm not the only child, so when my brother hurt my feelings, now though, because I talked to God and I helped the Lord to, I asked the Lord to help me better my relationship, like with my family overall. Like if my brother do something to me, like he argued, but he did something to get on my nerves. Well, not get on my nerves. He did something that I thought was like not very brother like, and it did hurt my feelings. And you know what, Nikki? I told my brother, and it actually went good. And my brother apologized. And my brother never apologized before. So that was a really big thing. So I was gonna say, not trying to get off subject, but Nikki, you've already did what I was gonna say, which is first you just gotta be honest about the situation. And you've already done that. You did say, you're still working on that. So I will be praying for you, Nikki. But that's all I got, Tina. Well, because what you said was the God honest truth. And I'm only saying that because I've been there. I felt I felt how you said, like when you were explaining the situation, like I felt like that. I used to feel like that. So I don't got nothing to say behind it, but you are right. I can be honest and say you are right. And I hope if anybody else can agree with Tina and say you are right, then let's just all make those changes so we don't gotta go through this. Cause when I tell you holding that stuff in, y'all. That's a whole nother life for a whole nother day, but we can't hold that stuff in. That stuff do more to us than we realize. But I'm telling you from health experience, y'all, do not hold that stuff in. The best thing I did this week, besides get even closer to the Lord, was go to therapy. Hello. Who? Best thing I ever did. Thank you, Lord.
I want to address something else that I saw, and I didn't want it to get past me because I know I was talking to Nikki for quite some time. Nisa
Mm-hmm.
Boo, I saw your comment, and I want to offer my condolences concerning your brother's passing. And I saw where you said you didn't want your energy taken by toxic family members when they went in for hugs. Um, I most certainly understand what that's like. I have had to skip funerals for that very reason. It was the people that I just could not fellowship with, so to speak. I couldn't hang with them, and I didn't feel comfortable being around them and in the midst of that toxicity. But I also understand the thing of when you're going through something as heavy as losing your brother, the last thing you want to do is add to that the toxicity of other people. And so I pray that you hear my heart and know that I see you. I appreciate you sharing, and I'm praying, that in your time of bereavement, that you do find comfort, and over time, you'll find healing. And I know that could be a difficult spot, but I just wanted to acknowledge you, and I saw you, and I appreciate you for your sharing. With that being said, we coming to a close right now because we have been talking quite a bit. Didn't expect to be talking about focusing for so long, but I do want to let you all know um, that you have the ability to refocus. You have the ability to take your time back. You have the ability to shut out people and things and processes that keep you from your vision, from your purpose. Before we leave here, too, let me say something. Torian, thank you for your presence. I see you. Welcome to the Chapmans. Mika, uh, the homie. Thank you. I saw you. I see you. I appreciate you. I don't know if you're still here, but I want to acknowledge your presence. I always appreciate whenever I see you in the Chapmans, and want to make sure that I acknowledge you as well. I don't remember seeing anybody else outside of those people, those two that came in. Um, but I most certainly wanted to make sure that I said something to you all before we close out here. But have any final thoughts before I close this all the way out?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. My final thought is, y'all, I just want to tell y'all to be honest. Like, you don't got to be honest in the chat mints, but just please be honest with yourself, y'all. Please, please, please. It's imperative. You got to be honest with yourself so you can identify like where you at, so you can move and like do what you need to do. But that's all I have, y'all. But thank you for your time. Honestly, thank you so much for your time.
I want to most certainly thank all of you all who came out tonight, who were willing to to me just go on and on and on about focus. But it's so important that you come to a place where if you are unfocused, if you have made it to a place where you've lost your vision, that you don't know why you started in something, refocus. Take the time to refocus. Turn your attention back to the thing that you're passionate about. Refocus. Turn your heart back to the place that needs your attention. Refocus. I appreciate all of you all. I thank you for coming out. And as always, God bless you and good night.
Bye.